This is the MSI Vigor GK70. It's a mechanical 10 keyless or TKL keyboard. That means it doesn't have a numpad, as you can see. This makes it much more compact and practical for use on smaller desks or LAN parties. It features a floating key design, which doesn't just look nice, but it also makes the keyboard really easy to clean once you remove the keycaps. The keyboard has an anodized aluminum base. This gives it a very premium look, but also a lot of extra toughness. The Vigor GK70 uses Cherry MX mechanical switches and is currently available in Cherry MX Red and Cherry MX Silver. Each Cherry MX switch is rated to last over 50 million key presses. This makes it a great investment for years of intensive gaming. You can choose from millions of different colors and a number of predefined effects by using the shortcuts on the keyboard itself. For more detailed lighting control, please use the MSI Mystic Light RGB software. This lets you synchronize all your components at the same time and customize your light effects and profiles even down to the individual keys. Adding some true gaming flair to the mix, the GK70 has 4 unique metal keycaps applied on the WASD keys. The unmistakable feel of these makes sure you will never find yourself accidentally pressing the wrong keys again. Also included in the box are an extra number of double injection keycaps with a texturized rubber surface. This also makes them instantly recognizable to the touch. You'll also find the regular WASD keycaps in here in case you prefer a more traditional look and feel. The USB cable is detachable. This fits the highly mobile characteristic of the Vigor GK70 keyboard, making it easier to pack and transport. It also means that you can simply replace the cable in case you damage it. So if you're looking for a TKL version of a true gaming keyboard, check out the Vigor GK70. Happy gaming! This is the MSI Vigor GK70. It's a mechanical 10 keyless or TKL keyboard. That means it doesn't have a numpad, as you can see. This makes it much more compact and practical for use on smaller desks or LAN parties. It features a floating key design, which doesn't just look nice, but it also makes the keyboard really easy to clean once you remove the keycaps. The keyboard has an...
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to game number 2. This is the Alsa League, all or nothing versus Origin Esports. We did see Origin Esports take up that first victory. They sort of had the advantage in the early game. They pushed it into the middle game. Having that anti-mage on their team just made the world's difference for them. And after that, they just pushed into the final and got themselves the victory in the first game. We do see a bit of all or nothing banning out some of the heroes that were picked up. That Enigma that was there in the previous game. All or nothing opting to go for the Doom first. The Medusa is still in the pool as along with the Earthshaker. Origin Esports actually going out for the Drow Ranger ban first, maybe wanting to pick up this Medusa early. They do go for the Abaddon ban along with the Centaur. Don't want to give the off lane or the safe lane that extra safe advantage that they have. So it makes a difference in terms of the draft that they're going for. Grimstroke being picked up first for Origin Esports. They want to push these lanes again.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
We'll see the second pick for them, the Bounty Hunter being picked up. Both of the heroes doing very well in terms of the laning phase, making sure that they can't control their farm. But the Oracle being picked up for all or nothing is the big hero that's going to control the team fight. It's going to make a difference for when it gets to the mid game along with the late game. So the bans are going to make the difference. Won't be too surprised if we see big team fight heroes coming out. Sven would probably still be a good pickup for all or nothing. Maybe even a ban for Origin Esports.
Dire team ban.
Bans coming out are going to be, the first one's going to be Morphling. One of the heroes that work well just on his own. The Lich is going to be the other ban for Origin Esports. They don't want to give the second sort of push here. Both these teams still need to get a lot of tower push. They still need to get a lot of tankiness in their lineup. You know, Sven was the argument that it was one of the heroes that would do pretty well. All or Nothing did pick it up in the first game. It didn't do too well for them, mainly because they didn't have the damage to do with. Monkey King going to be the second ban for All or Nothing in this second phase, and it is going to be the TA ban. TA was one of the heroes that I thought Origin Esports would probably pick up, but the Naga Siren is going to be their first pickup. A very good team fight hero, a very good disabling hero, a natural damage builder, a natural push hero as well, along with that Tidebringer. So it's going to make the difference, but All or Nothing, the Earthshaker, as we mentioned in the beginning, was a hero that was still in the pool for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Origins Esports draft. I mean, Grimstoke, you don't want him as a pause 5. You need someone to secure Naga's farm the first few levels. I think Naga against the Doom. And it's probably going to be a Doom Earthshaker. She's not going to have a good lane at all, and they don't have any supports to TP and save. They also don't have any.
The Dire lane is going to be the Naga Siren is going to be on the Dire lane as well. So the Grimstroke will probably be in the safe lane with the Naga Siren, and in that case, you still have the safe lane farm.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes a bit of difference
against Doom Earthshaker. It's going to be a tough lane. Jakiro. That's so they're probably going to run the. It's probably going to be a Bounty 3 and a Grimstoke 4 with the Jakiro as 5. Yeah, that lane.
It makes a lot of
some
sense.
disable damage.
It means that they can push the wave out as well. The Jakiro is sort of the hero that gives them the farm. It gives them a lot more options in the mid lane as well, because you have the Ice Path, you have the Macropie, you have the push from the Jakiro in terms of mid game moving into whatever position. If you're on the back foot, you can still push down towers. If you're way ahead, you can push down towers as well. It gives you sort of the advantage of having that support hero that can push a wave instead of having a core have to do it like an Ember Spirit or the Death Prophet or anything else, even the Naga Siren. But this does mean that the Bounty Hunter moves into the off lane, which is something we haven't seen a lot, especially after the slight nerf that he got. So Bounty Hunter in the off lane, we're still missing the core from All or Nothing, but it seems like he's going up against the Oracle. It's not that favorable for him being that squishy. Being a squishy off-laner. If you had a bit more tankiness in the off-lane, maybe he'll go for the buckler, maybe he'll go for something different. But it is, at the end of the day, still a Bounty Hunter going up against... you could even argue to go for the Earthshaker, because if you can block him off, it just makes the world's difference.
Yeah, All or Nothing definitely wants either a range carry or very strong melee carry. Bounty Hunter Grimstoke square lane to go up against. They do have the Oracle, which is...
Are you still sure that the Grimstroke's going to be in the offlane though?
I definitely think so.
The Stroke of Fate does a lot of damage against whoever is versus. So the argument being that whoever is versus your core, the Grimstroke does a lot of burst damage to. And it's going to be the Terrorblade pickup for the safe lane. That means you have to start... You have to move the Jakiro... You have to sort of...
No,
give the option that the Jakiro is in the off lane
I definitely
going to push
still
against
think
the Terrorblade.
Grimstoke will be... You want Grimstoke to be in an aggressive lane because his abilities give him the... Yeah, you know, the chance to get kills. So that's where you want him.
It does give a better kill setup. Naturally, this Naga Siren will be pushing to get the damage out. We'll be pushing to get a lot more items out as fast as possible versus this Terrorblade. But the Terrorblade does mean that All or Nothing can go a bit more late game, where the Anti-Mage did not give them the option. But Origin Esports, the Anti-Mage is still in the pool. All or Nothing probably have to ban out this Anti-Mage, but the Naga Siren's already in the core phase. So you're looking to ban out a mid-hero. Storm Spirit not being the optimal hero, it is going to be the Lina ban for them. The Templar Assassin's already banned out. You know that the Storm Spirit's not probably in the pool. What are you looking for Origin Esports, and what are you looking for All or Nothing?
All or Nothings. They have a strong offlaner. Earthshaker can make plays, but they need something to tie everything together.
But this is probably Earthshaker in a support role rather than the Doom being the support.
5 seconds.
No, we're not saying Doom as the offlaner.
With the Earthshaker, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are they running a duo core though? I mean, you could have the tri-lane with the Earthshaker and the Oracle, get a quick pick off on the Naga Siren as well. It is going to be the Ember Spirit. It means, so All or Nothing again. The previous game, it didn't work too well in their favor, pushing for the late game, but now they have heroes that actually scale a bit better into the mid game versus the late game, where the Anti-Mage was sort of the hero for Origin Esports that just secured them the late game and made sure that they can farm it all the way. Now, mid lane for Origin Esports, the argument is still there that you could put the Naga Siren there, but naturally it's not a good farmer versus the Ember Spirit. So, Origin Esports, Storm Spirit?
I think all of... It's hard to say. They need, if they counter the Ember mid, they know it's going to be an Ember mid. And I mean, if
it has to be,
All or
right?
Nothing,
It has to be, yeah.
I feel Terrorblade's going to have a hard time farming if they lose mid and just break even on the off lane. I'm in the safe lane.
But Ember Spirit proving to be a hero that farms pretty well once he reaches that level 3, sort of, even if he's on the back foot versus the Death Prophet versus the Storm Spirit versus anything that pushes away, even the Lina that was banned out, it's sort of the hero that once he reaches level 3, he can sustain himself in the lane. The bottle is up. He has a sleight of fist. He doesn't necessarily go for the defensive build that we've seen from the Ember Spirits in most pro seasons, even especially for the South African League either. So once he goes for the offense, it seems like he's holding his own ground versus these heroes that just push a wave. So Ember Spirit probably not going for the defensive, going for the offensive. You need to counter that with Origin Esports. In which case, I'm still opting to go for the Outworld Devourer or the Death Prophet. Because you still, if you go for the extra push, the tower push with Origin Esports, the late game goes for the Terrorblade and the Ember Spirit, but with the Jakiro and the Death Prophet, if you initiate the team fight, if you let All or Nothing initiate the team fight and you move into with the Death Prophet ult and you have the Jakiro to push the waves, once you secure those kills, it just makes a world's difference for them. And it's going to be the Invoker. It's going to be the Wex Exort Invoker. Actually, they have to.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have the control for the Quas with the Ember Spirit, so it's going to be...
They have the nets, I guess, if that counts for anything.
If it counts for anything, but it's going to... Jakiro opting to probably go for the Rod of Atos above the Yule Scepter, because the Yule Scepter will just give the Ember Spirit ability to get out of the team fight. The Rod of Atos does not give him that ability, so it's going to make the difference for them in the early game team fights. We'll have to see what they bring into this game.
Yeah, I think if Ember does well mid, or at least just breaks even, he's going to have a field trip.
And that's the other argument,
because
right?
Origin doesn't really have any lockdowns or disable for him.
It seems like they're going a bit more for the team fight and the early game push. Origin Esports may be saying that they want to end the game a lot early. They want to be able to secure the farm for the Naga Siren, and they have that bounty hunter for the extra bounty kills once he reaches the level 6. So in terms of All or Nothing, definitely have to question their positioning in the team fights and the way they take team fights a bit later into the game, where it differs a bit for Origin Esports. They literally just need to make sure that they secure the kills. Even in the early game, it makes the world's difference for them. Origin. So Origin, going with the Invoker, they do have the level 25 Invoker. It means that he's had to have played more than 500 games with Invoker. Which makes the world's difference. On any other hero, it could have just been a spam hero, but Invoker is a hero that you definitely need the experience on. So does the experience of the Invoker qualify them enough, justify them enough in order to win this game, in order to advance themselves in this mid lane that far versus the Ember Spirit? Because Invoker is still a hero that does well in all scenarios, right? That's why the Quaswegs and Exord exists, is because this Invoker is perfect versus any matchup as long as he starts talenting correctly and gets his farm in. Some people still go for the Hand of Midas. We probably won't see the Hand of Midas early in this game because it's going for the Exord. So, you know, going up against the Ember Spirit, as long as you can push this early game, you should still be fine, right?
Yeah, I feel like Origin has to put a lot of pressure early game. They have to win the lanes, and they won't be able. I don't think they'll be able to take it on all or nothing this late game.
All or nothing in late game versus this Terrorblade, who's actually moved down bottom lane, and he will fall down as a first blood. That Grimstroke, the Stroke of Fate, just doing way too much damage, and the Fortune's End was actually propped up first for this for Ramsey on the Oracle, where, you know, a Purifying Flame, if you have the same argument as if you're playing the same role as an Abaddon is supposed to be in the lane, where I feel like Oracle is a bit flexible in that sense, you probably don't want to take up the first ability that early, but it was contesting that bottom ruin as well, in which case he did take the Fortune's End over the Purifying Flame. But if he had the Purifying Flame a bit earlier, he could have healed up the Terrorblade, but it's not as much as a Mistcoil or an Apothic Shield does contribute in terms of the laning phase. So Terrorblade probably just being, you know, just being zoned out that much in that lane. Something for that. Okay, you can open. Alright, so Bounty Hunter being in the off lane, we did assume that it was going to be because you do have the Jakiro. They're actually pushing past this tower. Doom taking way too much damage. There is still a Earthshaker that did use that fissure, but the Doom, you're in the safe lane. This is the Radiant Tower, and you're taking a lot of damage versus this Naga Siren, but the Jakiro is pushing in. The Dual Breath is there. They do have a lot of damage here, but the Mirror Image is there as well. The Riptide going to be on the level 2. They're pushing past this. Jakiro dropping very low. The Doom as well. Doom, again, you're on the Radiant side, and this is your tower that you're defending. You do have the extra 2 armor, and you're defending this tower, but you're dropping very low now. Mid lane, however, the Invoker is dropping low. He does get the regen off. There's 3 levels on the Quas that does give him that health regen. So it is going to be the Grimstroke in the bottom lane with the Bounty Hunter making the difference. Top lane, they have to stop pushing because they have to put pressure on this Naga Siren, but you can't do a lot of pressure on this Naga Siren just because of the Jakiro being there. The Dual Breath does not enable you with these 2 heroes at least to get the right clicks off, and then after that you're taking a lot of damage with the Liquid Fire, Ember Spirit, the Sleight of Fist. He is level 3 already. Again, not going for the Flame Guard. We do see a lot of aggressive Ember Spirits these days, and this one not being any different. So Bounty Hunter down bottom is going to go down. It's 1-3, a 1k net worth lead. 3 minutes and 42 seconds into game number 2, leading Origin Esports. Antwoord nooit bij het neer. Alright, so Again, up bottom, you need to put pressure on this Naga Siren, but you're not able to do a lot of that with this Jakiro being there. Naga Siren will probably push to start farming the jungle, giving them a bit of the net worth lead. Last hits in the denies, 20 and 11 going in the favor of the Invoker, 18 and 1 on the Naga Siren, and then 17 and 5 on the Bounty Hunter, which is in the off lane. He should not be getting this type of farm, and yet the Shadow Fiend, this Terrorblade along with the Oracle is definitely not contributing as much as they would have wanted this early in the game. Again, the argument is that Terrorblade only starts scaling in the late game. He starts contributing in the late game, but being 16 and 2 versus a 21 and 5 Bounty Hunter, and he's still stealing a bit of your gold with every Janata hit.
Yeah,
you're falling behind.
It's Grimstone and Bounty Hunters. It's a very aggressive lane for Terrorblade and Oracle. Maybe you don't die in this lane, but you're not gonna have a good time.
5-minute bounty.
And I think Oracle might die.
Bounty rune contention. Oracle is actually the Stroke of Fate is going to be there in the last Janata hit just in time in order to get the kill. So it's going to be enough for them to get the 1 and 5, but still only a 1k net worth lead. You're pushing for the late game if you're on all or nothing. So it's definitely not, they're not too worried, but they still need to get some sort of grip back into this game because they're not doing it in the two side lanes. They might have a bit of control in the mid lane, but the Invoker is still a level up off with this Ember Spirit. But again, the argument is Ember Spirit goes off a bit later into the game. He does do a lot of damage, but with that Quas being on the Invoker, he does regen a lot, and he can just stay in lane because you don't have a lot of follow-up damage as long as you don't have that Mjolnir in there, and he is opting to go for the Drums of Endurance first.
Yeah, it's definitely the right choice. He needs to get some stats up. But I see Origins, if they can easily push within the next 5 or 10 minutes. All the lanes are doing well. They're out farming in every lane, basically. They should definitely push the advantage when they get the chance.
So Origin Esports, it's still 6 minutes into the game, right? They need to, all or nothing need to get a lot more on this Ember Spirit done than they are currently, and it seems like Bounty Hunters just enjoying the game, getting the stacks off of the Janata, because again you're stealing gold off of this hero that's supposed to be dominating the game right now in order to win it for his team. The Purifying Flames on level 2, but he's gonna have to. The Oracle's playing the same role that an Abaddon probably should have, and that was a kill, just an easy kill with the Shuriken toss along with that Stroke of Fate. Stroke of Fate being level 3, dealing way too much damage to the Terrorblade.
Was a bit weird there going for the range clip. You knew you only had like 200 or 300 HP. Shouldn't have gone for that. You
should have calculated that. The Fish is gonna be up top now. The Naga Siren taking a lot of damage. The Macropies, that Dual Breath is going to be there along with the Ice Path. Doom going to proc his the Scorched Earth. Going to look for this Naga Siren moving back. Level 5 on the Naga Siren. They opt to go for the Jakiro. There could still be a lot of damage coming out. There is the Ember coming in. The stun is going to be there. The Slider Fist, and that should be able to secure the kill. A 2 and 7, 3k net worth lead. Does make the difference for all or nothing, but you still had to expend a rotation for it, a mid lane rotation, which in most scenarios would have been fine at any other hero that's pushing that doesn't fall off late game, but it is still an Invoker that you just gave away a bit of XP for in order for that rotation to happen.
Yeah, I think the offlane really needed it, and if Shaker died as well. But yeah, Invoker's going Midas, so he's gonna jump in levels and farm pretty quickly as well.
There's a level 3 on the Riptide. Naga Siren opting obviously not to go for the Song of Siren. She needs to get that early tower push. If they can secure this tier 1 tower up top, it means that the Doom is not getting his farm. He isn't even close to level 6, even though he wasn't solo that much, but the Earthshake is also still level 4. It seems like the whole draft of all or nothing is based off of these core items, based off of these core sort of timings that need to happen in the game, and you're 2-8 with a 3k net worth disadvantage going into 9 minutes into the game. You need to start picking off heroes on Origin Esports side, otherwise you're not going to get to those timings. You're not going to get to those.
They don't really have the setup to make these kills.
And that's the difference, right? Because they need these abilities to be up. There is going to be the stroke, the Grimstroke, the bounty hunters down bottom. They do have that link onto 2 heroes, but it's not going to be enough. Channeling now, the Grimstroke does have the TP. They ping it out, but it's way too late. And now 3 hero rotation down bottom. They are able to get the bounty hunter, which means a lot for the Terrorblade. Terrorblade being level 6, so all or nothing, actually getting a bit of grip back into this game.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
And we see another kill happening in James.
In this room being picked up.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They need to have some sort of difference coming into the team fight. Jakira's going to go down, sitting at a 4-8. It's 10 minutes in. Now, actually, they do get the kill on the Naga Siren, which is big for them in the top lane. This does mean that they have some sort of space, but the biggest thing is that they're creating space for this Terrorblade to farm up. There is a track, however, on the Terrorblade. Bounty Hunter moving in. He does actually get Shackle Shot up. The Searing Chains is going to be there. They do follow up with the Oracle, and that's going to be enough damage. They secure the kill on the Bounty Hunter as well. 6-8, 10 minutes into the game. All or nothing, definitely pulling back after this laning stage. Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit's probably going to be the hero. He does have the Drummers of Endurance up. Will probably proc to go for that Battle Fury next. He needs to get the damage up. Needs to start pushing as well. Maybe even seeing him a Yolner on him will definitely make the world's difference for the side of all or nothing. There's going to be the Tornado coming out. They do have that Meatball. There's not that Fusel. They don't have the Cold Snap either. The Fissure's going out. It's going to block this Jakira. Jakira using the Ice Path, but it's not going to be enough. Seems like the side of Origin Esports are actually falling a bit on the back foot. Grimstroke is still here with the Bounty Hunter. Down bottom. They need to farm up, so they move 3 heroes down in order to give the Naga Siren a better chance to farm up, but this Invoker's still mid. Earthshaker's there. Earthshaker needs to get his level 6. He is opting to go for the Blink Dagger, but he is still quite a while away from that Blink Dagger. If he could just move in and get one good stun off as well, along with the Echo Slam, he should be fine. But it's all going to come down to this Ember Spirit and the Terrorblade. And Terrorblade is farming up. Last hits and the denies are still going in the favor of this Invoker, which is 73-40. 70-7 for the Naga Siren. So the Dire side are definitely still doing good in terms of farm. But the Terrorblade, 61-6, shortly on their heels. And that's the guy that's going late game. You do not want to give farm to this hero at all. Like, if you can stop it by any means, you have to. Now, Oracle, they're trying to go on this Grimstroke. The Stroke of Fate is still there. Ember Spirit does move in. The Searing Chains is going to be there, but the Silence to follow up. They actually have the Inkswell as well, but they will be able to secure this kill onto the Grimstroke. Now, taking way too much damage is going to be the Earthshaker. They will be able to back out. Ice Path is going to be there, and both heroes can just move down. Sunstrike going to be there. It's not going to land onto anything. They will sacrifice this Grimstroke, but this does mean all or nothing actually coming back into this team fight. The Ice Path's going to be there. Slaughter Fist, they're actually going to have enough damage to secure the kill along with that Fissure. And now they can just push the tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Mid lane. Invoker dropping to the Doom. Along with the Echo Slam. Had the Earthshaker not moved in, we probably should have seen
AoN.
would have seen a kill onto the Doom. But down bottom lane again, Bounty Hunter, you move in. The Stroke of Fates on level 3. The Inkswell's on level 2. You do have the Silence there. There's not a lot for you to do there. And Jakiro, Ice Path. They have the channeling coming out, but it seems like they're focusing the wrong hero. But now they have the Sleight of Fist along with that Searing Chains, and they're actually just going to get another kill onto this Jakiro. And this second Sleight of Fist is going to be able to secure the kill onto Unique. Nagasari moving in, trying to stall this game out, but they will definitely not be able to defend this tower. They're looking for the kill onto the Doom. The net comes out. Oracle will be able to just get a bit of space with that Fortune's End Oracle, but Doom being way too tanky, he does have that extra toughness aura that he stole up. Now they're moving on to the Oracle. Will take way too much damage, and it is actually going to be the Bounty Hunter dropping for the swap of the Oracle. Origin Esports definitely on the back foot now, as it seems like all or nothing just bait them into these unfavorable fights, fight after fight after fight. Invoker pushing to get a fight up top, basically just making sure they have to rotate, because he backs out as soon as the Sunstrike gets procced, knowing that they'll probably rotate, and just making a bit more space for his team to farm up. They still need a lot of items on the side of Origin Esports. The Agnum Scepter needs to still come out on the Invoker. He's not too far away from it, 1,000 gold. However, the Naga Siren, Manta Style, obviously going to be procced after this Diffusal Blade, I'm assuming, because of the Doom. Because of the big items that they have. However, the Lincoln Sphere makes a lot of sense as well. Earthshaker now actually has his Blink Dagger up as well. So you don't want to take a team fight where the Earthshaker is in control or just blinking in between the rest of your team. And stunning even 2 heroes makes the world's difference for him. He will proc to move down bottom. They have the Doom up as well. They do have the Earthshaker ult. They have the Echo Slam. They have the Blink Dagger. They have the Doom. There's a Toughness aura up. They do have the Blade. The Doom gets propped up. Earth Spell is going to be there. There's way too much damage on both of them, and the Echo Slam is used as well, but they do get 2 kills. Naga Siren moving in, wants to get kills onto this Earthshaker. The Sunstrike, however, will be enough. TXT securing the kill, and the Doom will probably fall as well. Naga Siren getting a double kill down this bottom lane, sacrificing 2 practically support heroes in order to take down a core and a support and push down this tower. Naga Siren will take that favorable fight any day. There's a double damage ruin on her. Oracle moving in. The Diffusal Blade is up. We'll just use the ult to make sure that they can't get her. And TP's up top in order to secure a lot more farm. A perfect defensive ult used. 150-second cooldown. But still, in terms of the push and in terms of the lanes that they have right now, they definitely needed it. The other argument for all or nothing is that they're working around a lot of big ultimates, right? So they're working around the Echo Slam being there. The Terror Blade has that Metamorphosis, which has a very long cooldown. After that, you have the Doom cooldown. The other 2 heroes, not so much. 60 seconds for their ults. For the Oracle ult. The Ember Spirit actually has 3 charges and it gets queued up. So he'll start pushing the waves. As soon as it gets past this 25 to even 30-minute mark, it seems like the Ember Spirit will dictate a lot of what's going on in the game. And the Mjolnir being queued up for this Ember Spirit will make sure that they can push the waves. After that, he'll probably just proc to go for that TP boots, and he'll be able to push waves. You know, if you're on the defensive, if you're pushing waves as Origin Esports, you have to constantly keep in mind that this hero will be pushing towers, will be pushing the lanes that you're not focusing on. So you have to push back, you have to TP back, you have to defend as well. And while that's happening, this Terrorblade's just getting farmed. If the Bounty Hunter can start getting that Diffusal Blade up earlier, it could mean the difference for them in their team fights, but it comes down to the ability to take down heroes more than anything else. However, Kyo will fall to 6-6. The Invoker just getting the perfect combo off. Does still have that Invis along with the Alacrity. Will give him the Forge Spirit, so he does have the Agnum Scepter, which makes the difference just for him. But having to queue up the Hand of Midas above pushing the lanes means that you're still contesting with this bounty hunt. With this Terrorblade the whole time, even though you just killed him. You literally just got the kill on him. You're still contesting way too much for him. The Ice Spot's going to be there. They have the Doom still up. Oracle has to stop moving out. The False Promise is still there. He does use the Doom, but it does go out onto an illusion. The Naga Siren still has the ult. Terrorblade is going to be able to proc the ult, and they will be able to just annihilate this Naga Siren. Now the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains is going to go out onto this Invoker. The Silence is going to be there onto the Ember Spirit. There's not a lot of spells being queued up, not a lot of cooldowns being used. The Sleight of Fist. Now the Tornado comes out, but it does miss. The Fissure's going to be able to block them off as well. So a 3-for-1, a 3-for-2 trade essentially. And it goes in the favor of Origin Esports still. Even with that Metamorphosis used, you took way too much damage. I wouldn't be too surprised if the Pipe of Insight gets procced up first before this Shiva's Guard, but it doesn't seem like this Doom is changing his mind anytime soon. He wants to make sure that they can get the damage and wants to control this Naga Siren. They will now go on to this Grimstroke. Grimstroke taking way too much damage will fall. The rest of Origin Esports have to back out. Tornado being used. There is going to be the Cold Snap as well. It's not going to be enough though. The Infernal Blade, they do have the net now going on to this Doom, taking way too much damage. Sleight of Fist going out onto the Invoker, but it's just not going to be enough. Bounty, they do have the track onto both heroes. They will probably just go for this Oracle. It does make a lot more sense. The False Promise is not going to be there. They do have the Fate's Edict. It's not going to be enough. They do still have mana on this Ember Spirit. Will try and go for this Haste Ruin, and he is able to secure it. However, if there was a good timed Ice Path, but the Jakiro not thinking that he would be needed in that fight. Lets the Ember Spirit go. A 3K net worth lead, 17 and 18. Origin Esports taking the lead so far. 22 minutes, 23 minutes practically into the game. Terrorblade needs to start. He needs to start getting defensive, or the team of All or Nothing actually need to start getting a bit more defensive.
Killing spree.
Up top,
Dire's bottom tower is
Net being able to secure the kill just because of the fact that the Ember Spirit can't use his ult while he's being netted up. Doom. Wanting to go for that Bounty Hunter, making sure that he can't get the invis, but not enough range to follow up, especially if you're under the tower. Not versus the Bounty Hunter alone, but you have to assume that the rest of the team is moving in, which they did. And they can start pushing a bit more. There is still 10 seconds on this Ember Spirit. However, Panda Midas, they want to do a lot more work on this Invoker. They want to steal a lot more gold on this Bounty Hunter, making sure that All or Nothing stay behind as far as possible. And even if it gets to the late game, Inkswell going to be used, the Ember Spirit, the Sleight of Fist is going to be there. However, they do proc the Soulbind. There's not a lot of damage to follow up. They will use the Fissure, the Stun to follow up on the Jakiro because they're scared of this Ice Bath. The Dual Breath is going to be there onto the Earthshaker. Now Ember Spirit taking a lot of damage. He does still have that Bounty Hunter with that track on him. Track now being used on Oracle as well. Grimstroke still so low. The Fissure will be enough. They do use that Dust in order to spot him out. Invoker has to get out as well. The Doom being used on him. We'll have to see if he actually gets out. The Quas was used in 2, so he should be able to regen this up alone. And the team fight kind of going in the favor of All or Nothing, giving this Terrorblade a bit more farm, or at least a bit more control on what's happening in terms of the push. Origin Esports need to find a different way of approaching these team fights or these pickoffs. They'll probably look to start focusing the Earthshaker and the Doom, where it's either you focus everything on the Doom or you focus everything on the Earthshaker, just to make sure that they don't have that extra control in the team fight. With the fact that you have the Invoker that's pushing the waves, so the Doom makes a lot of sense, right? But as soon as the Invoker gets the Lincoln Sphere, which he is procking up to move towards now, does pick up the double damage, will look to get the kill onto this Terrorblade. The Silence is going to be there. They do have the Soulbind. There is actually going to be the Janata as well. Macropire dropping this Oracle very low. Now the Tornado comes out. It doesn't connect on the actual Terrorblade, just onto the 2 illusions. They do get the kill on the Oracle, however, and this does mean that they can stop pushing the waves. But bottom lane is pushing in the favor of the Radiant side. However, top lane, Dire side, Naga Siren at almost level 21. Does use the Song of the Siren, will use the illusions. It's just her alone. They are procting to go for this Earthshaker. The Ice Bath's going to be there. The Silence to follow up. The track, and they will be a kill as well now. This Doom dropping very low. The Sleight of Fist is being used in order to try and do a bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough. The Silence is going to be on the Doom, and they will be able to take this tower down as well. Origin Esports capitalizing very well on that team fight. 12k net worth, 27 minutes into the game, looking to push high ground. They have the ability with the Jakiro along with this Invoker, who still has the alacrity to use. Metamorphosis used, BKB being used. Sunder is still out. The rest of the Dire side just need to move out of this team fight. If they can get out in time, it should be enough for them. But the Silence is up. Now they do have the Soulbind. Oracle going to be using that ult to keep the Ember Spirit alive, but that does mean that you lose the Terrorblade. Now, Ember Spirit dropping very low. Cold Snap going to be used. The Diffusal as well. There should be a Sleight of Fist, but the Ember Spirit's going to go down. The Sunstrike not going to be able to secure the kill on this Earthshaker. However, they will be able to take down the first set of racks. Sleight of Fist. They even have that Searing Chains. The Fissure going to be used as well, but the Scrimstroke just won't die. Another Sleight of Fist with the Searing Chains. It's not going to be enough to take down the Scrimstroke. You're this far behind that your cores can't even get the pick off on a supporter. Moving back now, Naga Siren did not opt to go for the Radiance, which it seems like it made a lot of difference for them in the team fights, because the illusions were doing a lot more damage and stealing a lot more mana with the Diffusal Blade that's up, the Manta Style that's there. It does make a lot of sense. Having the Radiance means that you're going for the split push, but being ahead this far in the game means Naga Siren could just build into the Heart of Tarask, and it didn't mean too much difference for them in terms of the team fight as much as it did for it's exactly the lane that they wanted to push. So the Jakiro was there, the Stroke of Fate was there from the Grimstroke, the Invoker was there to control the team fight. Bounty Hunter, he knows he's being scouted out, the track is still there. Silence as well, Earthshaker has to stop moving back. They push this tier 2 tower. There's no fortify.
Where did Radiant's middle tower go?
They'll be able to just take that for free. All or nothing, assuming that they will just start pushing, sending the Ember Spirit up top. He doesn't have the TP boots, but he is opting to go for the BKB next, and he has that Maelstrom up, so he is able to push the waves as long as he controls a sort of a TP scroll, but he's pushing the wave that's already pushing, which eventually that wave's going to push back anyway, so you shouldn't be the one that's pushing that wave. Ember Spirit using the Remnants in order to get out. They have track, the Rod of Atos is there, they do use the Macropie, there's going to be the Soul Bind, the Double Silence going to come out, but the Fissure blocks this Dire side from doing a lot more. Stroke of Fate's going to be there in order to secure a bit more damage, but they won't be able to secure the pick-off. However, they are at a bit of an advantage, but they used all their big ults, so Origin Esports showing a lot of discipline by just backing out. I'm not too sure about this Roche, because if you're versus this Earthshaker and he does figure out that you're going for this, Radiant Scan is there. They know that it's happening, but it's too late now. You should have moved in already. The Pipe of Insight and the Vlad's already on the Bounty Hunter makes a lot of difference for them in terms of the team fight. He has the Diffusal Blade, he has the Drums of Endurance. Will probably opt to replace the Drums of Endurance with something. I mean, even a Crimson Guard makes a lot of sense for them, because you want to keep this Naga Siren alive. You want to be able to make sure that the Naga Siren can fight above everyone else. So, if the Invoker stays in the back line and the Naga Siren's in the front line, the tracks are coming off beautifully with this Bounty Hunter, making sure that he can just keep the enemy team tracked up. They know where they are, they know where their initiations are, but they don't know where this Earthshaker is just yet. Naga Siren can he use his ult? They're looking for the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker was slept there. The Fissure is going to be used. However, they're doing a lot of damage onto this Oracle. Want to keep him at bay. Now the Silence is going out onto this Earthshaker, taking way too much damage. He will fall. There's no buyback being used by him. Terrorblade just silenced up as well. There's no Metamorphosis is still there, the Manta Style and the BKB, but they do way too much damage for this Radiant side. Earthshaker's down. Doom is down. The Oracle is down as well. Ice Path going to be there. They do block in this Ember Spirit, and it's way too much lockdown, way too much control for them. There's a buyback onto this Doom, looking to control anything. Metamorphosis, they do use the Sun there. There's no Metamorphosis, there's no BKB, and they will fall down. Middle tower will probably fall if they're able to get this Doom. There's no buyback on him, and surely that is going to be the mid-push. It's 71 seconds down, as only 4 heroes can return from this, and the Ember Spirit is even longer. So if they can bait out the buyback from the Ember Spirit, if he even has one, There's no buyback for another 2 minutes on the Amber Spirit, which means that he's not coming back. The side of All or Nothing seemed to be lost at this stage just from that one team fight. They had everything going for them. They just focused the wrong heroes. They baited out the BKB, they baited out the Metamorphosis, and after that, Ice Path being used, Rod of Atos. They do use the Inkswell for good measure. Will probably land onto 2, trying to kill down 1. Gets the second one. Ice Path being used for good measure. The buyback does come out on the Terrorblade, but this Ancient is dropping way too low, and that is going to be game number 2. Origin Esports just locking this down 34 minutes into the game, showing that they had the advantage in the laning stage. Origin Esports take this game 2-0. So, in terms of the Elsa League, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Origin Esports, very well played for them. They advanced to the next game. Unfortunately, All or Nothing have to drop out, and that was going to be a good game for them. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be bringing you a lot more Dota action during the week, so stay tuned, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
This is the MSI Vigor GK70. It's a mechanical 10 keyless or TKL keyboard. That means it doesn't have a numpad, as you can see. This makes it much more compact and practical for use on smaller desks or LAN parties. It features a floating key design, which doesn't just look nice, but it also makes the keyboard really easy to clean once you remove the keycaps. The keyboard has an anodized aluminum base. This gives it a very premium look, but also a lot of extra toughness. The Vigor GK70 uses Cherry MX mechanical switches and is currently available in Cherry MX Red and Cherry MX Silver. Each Cherry MX switch is rated to last over 50 million key presses. This makes it a great investment for years of intensive gaming. You can choose from millions of different colors and a number of predefined effects by using the shortcuts on the keyboard itself. For more detailed lighting control, please use the MSI Mystic Light RGB software. This lets you synchronize all your components at the same time and customize your light effects and profiles even down to the individual keys. Adding some true gaming flair to the mix, the GK70 has 4 unique metal keycaps applied on the WASD keys. The unmistakable feel of these makes sure you will never find yourself accidentally pressing the wrong keys again. Also included in the box are an extra number of double injection keycaps with a texturized rubber surface. This also makes them instantly recognizable to the touch. You'll also find the regular WASD keycaps in here in case you prefer a more traditional look and feel. The USB cable is detachable. This fits the highly mobile characteristic of the Vigor GK70 keyboard, making it easier to pack and transport. It also means that you can simply replace the cable in case you damage it. So if you're looking for a TKL version of a true gaming keyboard, check out the Vigor GK70. Happy gaming! This is the MSI Vigor GK70. It's a mechanical 10 keyless or TKL keyboard. That means it doesn't have a numpad, as you can see. This makes it much more compact and practical for use on smaller desks or LAN parties. It features a floating key design, which doesn't just look nice, but it also makes the keyboard really easy to clean once you remove the keycaps. The keyboard has an anodized aluminum base. This gives it a very premium look, but also a lot of extra toughness. The Vigor GK70 uses Cherry MX mechanical switches and is currently available in Cherry MX Red and Cherry MX Silver. Each Cherry MX switch is rated to last over 50 million key presses. This makes it a great investment for years of intensive gaming. You can choose from millions of different colors and a number of predefined effects by using the shortcuts on the keyboard itself. For more detailed lighting control, please use the MSI Mystic Light RGB software. This lets you synchronize all your components at the same time and customize your light effects and profiles even down to the individual keys. Adding some true gaming flair to the mix, the GK70 has 4 unique metal keycaps applied on the WASD keys. The unmistakable feel of these makes sure you will never find yourself accidentally pressing the wrong keys again.